Tape marker ends with us. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Akel, Ryan680.
I'm Angela, that Kelly.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk. Thank you so much for making this a part of your day. You know what to do, guys. Like, share, subscribe, and do not forget to hit that little bell notification. Get notified for our movie reviews in this case. And let's get right to it. Angela, what are we talking about today?
Oh, we are talking about a highly anticipated Blake Lively film.
Yeah.
It Ends With Us.
It Ends With Us is an adaptation, a famous book. Even coworkers of mine that I will not say their names, but coworkers of mine that actually are reading this book currently and are preparation for it because they're actually going to see it this coming weekend. So they're fast-paced reading
And we'll preface,
to really finish it. Yeah.
We'll preface this to say we have not read the book.
We have not read the books, but this does tell us of a story where Lily overcomes a traumatic childhood to embark on a new life. A chance meeting with the neurosurgeon sparks a connection, but Lily begins to see sides of him that remind her of her parents' relationship, aka her father, or just more so just the marriage that they
dynamic,
had, that they had and everything. And so, you know, before going into this movie, I really did not know what to expect. There was a lot of moments in here where I was like, okay, we knew Blake Lively was on the poster, I
was never a big fan of Blake Lively. I'm going to say that. I liked her in the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants; those were great. But as far, I didn't see her in I think it was Gossip Girl.
I forgot she was in there.
I haven't seen a lot of her. The Age of Adeline, I didn't see that one either. But I will say I am a fan now.
So
she is fantastic.
My favorite movie of hers will always be Age of Adeline. I really did like that movie a lot. I haven't seen enough of her, I guess. Well, I'll put it to the benefit of the doubt. I have not seen enough of her. Okay, so regardless, needless to say, and everything, after rewatching, kind of like. Or just watching, like, when we talk about book adaptation movies, 9 times out of 10 the book's always better. Of course, you know, just like when it comes to the Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, it's the 9 times out of 10 the book's always better. Whether it's romantic movies like A Walk to Remember, which is my guilty pleasure, but we won't go into that details. But anyways, It Ends With Us is definitely a movie where it's a slow burner of a film that really ignites, I would say, in the second act. But the thing is, though, it really relies solely on the lead actress in here. And I gotta say, you know, that was kind of like where it was kind of going already, especially from the trailers that we saw and everything. So I kind of figured it was going that route. But to know that it did actually come out after watching this movie, I'm gonna say it really relied on her to really carry the movie, and she did really good. Blake Lively did a really good job. Of course, the music setting the tone. A lot of Taylor Swift songs, aka her real best friend,
Taylor's the godmother of Blake's children.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say though, I again, not having come from like being the biggest fan of hers, I really was really excited to see her take the lead. Like, she held this movie. She was the glue. She was the force driving this film. I loved seeing her in all the scenes. We did see other familiar faces. Like, our favorite was Hassan Minhaj.
Oh man, he was like in 4 or 5 scenes, and he was funny, splendid. He was just comedy was just pure comedy, and it wasn't even like raunchy. It was just pure comedy, and I loved it.
I loved also her on-screen best friend, Jenny Slate. She does a ton of voice acting. You'll definitely recognize her, her voice and whenever. I loved her character. She was so great too. So I will say the cast was so phenomenal.
Yeah, Jenny Slate, which we know her a lot from other stuff like Secret Life of Pets, Zootopia. Yeah, she's done a lot of voice acting, which we'll recognize, and we do recognize, especially Zootopia, especially Secret Life of Pets. You'll recognize it's a very distinguished voice and everything, but
she's great.
Which plays she's lovable. Her best friend.
She's so lovable. She was so great, and I think a lot of people are going to relate to this story. Again, we've not read the book, but I think a lot of people are going to be completely impacted by the story and how it goes. It definitely is more of a serious topic that doesn't get talked about enough.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And I think it was portrayed beautifully. Like, I think the way the story was written, how it played out, was done very well. And, you kind of, you as an audience see this happening, but you kind of like the way it happens, it kind of makes you question and kind of get her more of her perspective. And oh, look, hi, Raja. Scene stealer. But yeah, again, I think it's a very, very hard truth kind of story.
Yeah.
A lot of people need to see it. And I think it's I'm not a fan of rom-coms. I will say I've always kind of said that I'm not a fan.
Huge fan of rom-coms.
I really enjoy this film. This made me cry so much. I love sad movies and sad scenes, and have a good cry.
And adding the Taylor Swift songs just adds that chef's kiss to those scenes and everything. This was actually directed by Justin Baldoni. Justin Baldoni and
starred in it.
Yeah, and starred in it. Yeah, he played Ryan, one of the leads in here as well. This neurosurgeon. What was it? Oh, Ryle. I'm sorry. Ryle.
Kind of like Kyle, but Ryle.
Ryle. Mm-hmm. That's a first for me, but yeah.
That's an interesting name.
Yeah. Kyle, aka Ryle. Okay, sounds good. All right, but anyways, and you really get to see there. That was the only thing I was kind of worried about, was their chemistry together between him and Blake Lively. And it was okay. I mean, there's certain moments where kind of like...
No, it was totally believable. And then you can also see... But I think it was purposeful, where her on-screen chemistry with her and Atlas was a little bit more stronger.
Yes.
I think it was Brandon's Leonard.
But I think that's the point, though. I think that's the point of the story.
I think it's intentional.
Yeah.
Because of the way the story goes and everything. Yes. Again, I think all of the cast did spectacular. I think it's gonna be a good must-see movie.
Yeah.
If you love rom-coms, and also, I mean, it's not a rom-com. It's more drama.
More drama.
It's definitely more drama. Yes. But if you love romantic movies, if you love the love story,
the romance drama, and
you're gonna really like this. And I really encourage.
Now, was this a film that we deserved? I'm gonna say yes. It was definitely was surprising moments in here, surprising scenes in here. But it is a slow burner of a film for me. It definitely is. That's not to say it's not a good movie. It really is. It's a really good, solid film and everything. But I feel like that moviegoers are going to be kind of split on it, because depending, especially coming after Deadpool, they want to have, especially coming after movies of that caliber. Mm-hmm. This is definitely a different genre, a different taste. And there was a lot of women in the theater for this one. It's a sold-out house.
Again, I think it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone likes romance movies, like I said, myself included. So I don't see a bunch of dudes lining up to the theater to go watch this.
Let's go check this movie out.
It's definitely very much a girlfriends or like a couples movie.
And there was a lot of girlfriends there. Yeah.
A lot of girlfriends. Yeah. Hey, girl power. But it is to have the way the element is. It's really all about girl finding her strength to break the cycle that she's in, and it's such a powerful theme. And again, I think a lot of people will be touched by it. And I think Blake Lively did such a good job playing Lily. She was so good.
Okay. Definitely. Would you say so if a man took you on a date, if I took you on this date and we were just dating, would this be okay dating movie? Or is it I think it's too serious? Too serious.
Like, again, it has a very heavy
we have to be
theme.
Dating for about like a year.
We have to be kind of serious.
Yeah.
So
engaged.
I wouldn't be like, oh, it's a first date. Let's see this movie.
What about 6 months? No, that's too soon.
Depends. But again, I do think
still too soon.
A lot of girlfriends are gonna like this movie.
Definitely.
We saw a lot of girlfriends there. And hey, girl, take your best gal pal there. It's gonna be a really. I was crying. Take your tissues. Yeah. It's gonna be a very hard hitting movie.
And I was all like, unbelievable.
Because I think a lot of people are sadly in that situation, or they know someone in that situation.
Yeah.
And true. It touches on a lot of, like you say, breaking the cycle.
Yes.
Yes. Or not. So again, it's a very powerful movie.
Yeah.
Message that I think a lot of us should talk about more. And you know. If find the strength to take control back into your own life when it comes to things like that. And so I really appreciate the story behind this. Again, it makes me want to read the book. I'm not a big reader. unfortunately. But I do, when I see movies like this that have a very interesting story, it does make me want to read the book.
Yeah, for me, we're about to jump into ratings right now. For me, this movie felt more like, and this is not a bad thing because I love soap operas, but this definitely felt like a soap opera because a lot of stuff connects. And again, if you read the book, you obviously already know the situation. You already know what the unveil is. Mm-hmm. And so, like, it definitely feels like a soap opera movie, but that's sometimes a good thing. My favorite rom-com movies to death will always be, and we talked about when the Crawdad comes out. When the Crawdad sings. It was last year or 2 years ago?
It came out a few years
ago. Anyways, that was a very, very powerful storytelling of a movie, and that was a very enjoyable film. I love that movie.
Was this my favorite? No. Was it very good and make me cry? Did it achieve the message? Did the message convey and get through to me? Yes, obviously. Again, I cannot rave enough about Blake Lively and the rest of the cast. I'll give it a solid 7.5 because it was a very powerful film. Again, we don't see this story too often. I mean, we do kind of, but not in this sense, not in this point of view. Again, it might not be everyone's cup of tea. It is a little bit slower.
Yeah, it's what I'm saying. It's like a slow burn of a film
for a romance movie, but I think it was very enjoyable, and I think it's a solid 7.5.
At the end of the day, did you enjoy yourself at the movie theater? Oh, yes, I did. It was very cool because it was like over 100 degrees here. Is this going to be like this spectacular, freaking action-packed movie? No, because this is a different type of film. Yeah. But I still enjoyed myself at the theater. I enjoyed seeing Blake Lively. She's a gorgeous woman. She's very camera presence and everything, and she really takes the camera by storm there. It's been a while since I've seen her in anything really. With having kids and everything. But we've seen Ryan Reynolds do it a lot. So yeah. But anyways, needless to say, I'm gonna give this a solid 6.7. I'm going to give it 6.7 out of 10. I really had a good time in the theater. For me, though, it's not as powerful as Where the Crawdad Sings. It's definitely... I felt like it was kind of not directed in the beginning. I felt like it was kind of doing... It didn't really set itself up too well, I would say, like introducing us to these characters, introducing these people. Then I just, from my point of view, it kind of just put us into this place in Boston and just kind of had to put it together, put it together. And then, but at the same time though, we haven't read the book, so we're not too sure even where the story begins. I mean, I would assume it begins when they're kids, but the way they did it was very different than the book, than what I heard and everything. And obviously the age, there's pretty much an age difference as well. So
yeah, I think you said they made him older in the movie.
Yeah.
In the book, they're supposed to be younger. So, I mean, we've seen it again. We've seen that in media.
Game of Thrones, everything else. Like Game of Thrones, they're teenagers, but obviously it doesn't... On camera, it's not going to work out very well. It's going to be very, very hard to see stuff like that. But anyways,
and fun thing, the father that we see some glimpses and flashbacks of, he was in Grey's Anatomy.
Okay, there you go. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for making this a part of your day. You know what to do. As always, like, share, subscribe, and I am your host, Ryan D. aka Ryan680.
I am Angela at that Kelly Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. See you at the movies. Catch you later. Peace.